Hi guys, Scott here from Outlaw Garage. We are back at Demop again. This time we are here to see this beautiful single cab. As you can see, the orange bus that we covered previously is over in the back there. But today we are here with the lovely single cab. Custom surfboards. Here we go.
How back again, guys? Yeah, back again for another one. So this is my 63 single cab that I picked up from a mate. It was a really rusty ute, and the whole back tray was completely gone, but most of those A surfaces were in really good condition.
Yeah, okay.
So I actually purchased it fairly cheap, and I surprised my wife with it because she's always wanted a single cab. And I actually had it tucked in the corner over there with a big purple bow, and she came home from work and drove in the driveway.
Look at you going for husband of the year.
Yeah. She freaked out and was like, what? Anyway, so then of course what we did is we popped it into the shed and I started the restoration process, pretty much similar to the orange one. Got it on a rotisserie and cut out the rust that was the lower 6 inches. This sort of section here was gone. Yeah. The doors were actually in really good nick.
So it was pretty much the lower 6 inches, was it?
Yep, this part down here was replaced.
Yeah, okay.
That little section there was replaced, and then all the bed inside.
Yep, all the bed?
All the bed. The bottom floor as well as the top floor were completely changed. Where the rust...
So they were done, were they?
Oh yeah, so in here...
Let's have a look in the tray.
And this is where the rust...
Oh, look at that underneath.
Yeah, so all this had to be refabricated again.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, it had the factory fuel tank dividers. Now, these are super rare, really hard to find. And these were in there, and they were almost... They had a little bit of pitting on the bottom here, but they were almost rust-free. Couldn't believe that they were actually in there. Patina
on the outside, solid underneath.
And yeah, even underneath the bus, if you have a, when I actually painted it on the rotisserie, I all underneath is pretty much brand spankers.
Fantastic. Yeah. That tray looks lovely as well.
Yeah, she's
nice touch with the wood.
Yeah, the timber came from the States.
Yeah.
There's a really interesting story about this profile. It's quite hard to get manufactured because of this curve on the top, and there's a chamfered edge on the bottom of them. And there's one guy off the Sambo that we got these from, and they weren't cheap. They were about $400 to get them, get them into Australia, and then shipping as well. But you can't. You got to have these if you've got a single cab ute. It's just that part of it that it gives it that character. And so yeah, I just had to get them in there. It was one of those things.
It's nice to have all the original gates as well.
Yes, they're not perfect. You can actually see a lot of them over there.
They're a little bit pitted in some areas.
They're a little bit pitted, and I can do some more work on it. But it was really just get it on the road as quickly as we could, and do the work that we had to get done.
Yeah.
One specification that the wife said she liked the two-tone because it was only this colour top and bottom.
Okay.
So what I had to do is come up with a way of putting all this on, and this has all been replicated. All this up here was quite a lot of fudging, using a sandblaster, using some vinegar and water and some rusty metal to make a kind of a slurry. And we actually, there's spots that aren't perfect, but you get the idea. A lot of this rusted over time, and then I just covered it with a matte clear just to sort of seal it up a bit. Because she wanted to keep that kind of patina look about it, of course.
Yep.
That's the what she was after. But the cab inside is completely brand new, so it's all repainted. It was sandblasted back to bare metal inside, and brand new seats in it, and we wanted to go to town and make it look really nice for her to drive inside. So, and
what people probably will notice as well, looking at it, is that this is another Muffin top.
That's right. Yeah, it was an Australian variant of the single cab, and the reason behind this double skin.
Yeah.
And it's got your little air vents through here.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is your air travels through, comes down the back, goes down this little void here, and then inside the treasure chest is another void, and it goes all the way back to the engine.
Yep.
So they did that because of the dusty conditions in Australia. They wanted to try to seal off the engine bay and just give it clean air from the front. So one thing I have modified this a little bit. I did put I did put side vents in it, and people said, "Oh, why did you do that?" And so I like the look of the side vents. My wife did too, and I figured, well, look, it's just going to add that little bit more airflow into the back.
Yeah.
And if needs be, I can always cut it out and go back to flat if I really want to. So,
well, this is the second Muffin top we've had on the channel, because we had the Smiths.
Yep,
Muffin
that's right.
top,
Yep.
which they were bombing around in. Probably the similarity is the quality of the engine, because their engine was absolutely brilliant. Yours sounds absolutely perfect. Starts first time, runs and sounds brilliant, but a standard little 1600. So we'll take a look.
Yeah, the block that's in there, let's get it line bored, and we took it up to a guy, and he went through the motor and got it good. And then what we did is made it a 1641. So we put bigger pistons, bigger barrels in it. Left the camshaft stock. We put a 32 picked carburetor on it, so it's only a single port.
Yeah.
And a stock exhaust. So it's actually got the 1500 stock exhaust on it.
But it's a lovely little engine.
These are very difficult to find. So this air cleaner is an oil-filled air cleaner, and I had to get that from the Sambo in America because I could not find one here.
See, we were out filming a bus the other day, and they had one of those, but it was by far bigger, and we wondered what it was because it had oil in it, but it was on the other side of the engine bay.
A tube about this big.
Yeah, massive.
Yeah.
So that's what that is.
And with these utes, I have seen those. I think my friend Bruce has got one on his. They must have just made different versions of it.
Yeah, this was in a double door panel van.
Okay.
And it must have been because it was more of a utility vehicle rather than your passenger related vehicle. But that's what that was.
Yeah, I've got a feeling this was in something else too. It probably wasn't just in the ute, so it might have been an early bus too. That's probably something, a little bit of info. Maybe in the comments section someone can answer if they know. But yeah, I mean, that's obviously a aftermarket distributor, the Magna Spark. It's just set and forget. It's fantastic.
But it sounded beautiful when you started it.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's a strong start.
It's got a good note to it, and it fires straight away. Like, it can't wait to get going, which is fantastic. The only downside at the moment, the gearbox, I didn't do anything to, and I was hoping, and I popped it in, and we went driving, and of course now it's popping out of fourth gear. So I've got a new gearbox coming from a mate of mine, so that once that's here, we can do a quick swap over and get a brand new gearbox in there. So, but one other thing I did, I'm not sure if you can see here. But this is actually all fiberglass.
Ah, okay.
So what I wanted to do was put a third brake light in it.
Yeah.
So if you look at this engine lid, it's actually off the early 57 and earliers, which has this shape.
Yeah.
It has the flat section here, not that curved bit.
Yep.
So I actually cut this out of the old one, fiberglassed that in, and then colour matched it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of airbrushing here and there. All the surfboard manufacturer stuff helps me with colour matching, and I mean, obviously these aren't original either. They're off the 57s, but again, my wife liked the look of them, and I said, yeah, whatever. We can always swap it back if you really need to.
Hey, look, if you like what you like,
that's right.
You've saved a bus,
and this
does it matter?
Yeah, this is a little cute thing I got from eBay. Little stoplight, it lights up as well. It's got so much character. I think that's it's funny. My wife's nicknamed it Miss Purdy, and it's actually from the Jerry Lewis movie, The Nutty Professor. His sidekick is Stella Stevens, who's a really gorgeous model. She was called Miss Purdy in the film, so that's what it's actually nicknamed. We might even get a little bit of sign writing or something put on it down the track. See how we go.
Well, look, she looks absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
That bed, look at that.
Yeah, and then of course the cab inside is...
Yeah, let's take a look at the cab. So here we go, wandering into the cab, and look at that. Patina on the outside, all show and go on the inside, really. That's what that is.
Yeah, when you're driving it, you kind of forget what the inside to the outside looks like.
Yeah.
So, no, we used Dave from Vogs Trim, and he did the seats for us. And the door cards and the roof I did those myself.
Yeah.
You know, that was
Look at the roof. Oh, look. Yeah. It's very nice.
Yeah.
It's so clean inside.
There they are. Oh, the other little
And your little gauges up the top here.
So that I actually made that gauge pod from scratch. So that gauge pod, I used some surfboard foam and I shaped it into the shape that I wanted.
Yeah.
And then took a mould off that.
Yeah.
And then I've actually produced a few. I've got one in the orange. You can actually see it through the back window in the orange bus. And
I didn't notice that before.
That's a good thing because that's what I wanted. I wanted it to be not down in the dash there where you can really see them.
Yeah.
Just tucked away, almost looks factory like.
Didn't even notice it on the orange bus when we were here last time.
That's and I have that mould. If anyone wants one of those, give me a shout because I can pump them out super easy. They're not
link in the description below.
Yep. Can do.
So you've got oil pressure, oil temp, and rev counter on it.
Correct, and that's really I think all you need for when you're driving, just to keep an eye on the temperatures. I mean, as everyone knows, in Australia we get some pretty hot summers. You can get up to 42, up 43 here, no problem.
So what I like about doing these videos is that you turn up to people's houses and they have completely got something that you are not prepared for.
I'll tell you now, a lot of my mates call me the nutty professor because I do all these crazy different stuff. So this is my surfboard building shed, and this was actually my full-time job from 1988 to 2005. I was doing this full-time. So I get the boards. This is the glassing area and the painting area. So this one's actually getting done this afternoon.
Yeah, okay.
That's going to get fiberglassed. That's a replica. The back room here is where I do all the actual shaping. This is all the shaping area. And the blanks basically come like this. So this is how we buy the foam. So it's actually already cut out on a CNC machine.
Yeah.
And then we just clean them up and then put the designs on them and then fiberglass.
And shape them to your shape.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming
that's right.
Every surfboard maker has a particular shape.
So different people want different things. So there's a longboard up there, you can see there. I've got different templates I can use for different outlines, different rail thicknesses, and all that depends on what kind of wave you're surfing on. If you're surfing a big wave, a small wave, a barreling, heaving wave, or something nice and rolling and flat, you have different boards for that. So most of my work is custom work. I do fiberglass work for other companies as well. So they'll just give me these boards already shaped and I'll just glass them, sand them in here and finish them off. But yeah, that's just one of I think a lot of the skills with restoring buses came from in here, believe it or not, because you're doing a lot of sanding, you're doing a lot of spray painting with a spray gun, you're using fiberglass. It's amazing how those skills will cross over. Yeah,
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so it is very dirty, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I guess that comes with you're sanding and doing stuff.
Yeah, and it hasn't been cleaned up. It actually needs a good vacuum out. But I've got a lot of other unfortunately, when you've got a 3.5-year-old little boy too, your time gets chucked away pretty quickly.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's one of my boards there that's actually finished. This was one of the ones that I was riding a while ago. That's the Nick Stick logo there. So that's just a performance shortboard. That would be something what the professionals would be riding now. They're actually a little bit smaller now too. But that's just fiberglass. So of course you get a lot of prototype bits and pieces. You can actually see the gauge pod that we were talking about before.
There we go.
That's the mould. So you can see it's actually a reverse. It's got a little bit of PBA mould release in there. That's the reverse of what you're seeing on the bus. So quite an easy job just to laminate that up and spray it whatever colour, and you bolt it up, hole saw out where your gauges need to go, and Bob's your uncle. So that was just carved out of a piece of foam.
Yeah.
So you can, whatever your heart desires, you can pretty much make. So yeah.
Wow.
That's it.
Cool old bike up the top.
Yeah, I've got heaps of them. I've got the down at my place. I've got all the BMXs and the.
Okay. So we are gonna venture down there one day, but we've just not quite got there yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whenever. Yeah.
What a place.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the second visit to Demop Garage, where we've seen this cracking ute today. Please follow them on Instagram again and on YouTube, Demop Garage. We'll put a link in the description below for them. It's absolutely been fantastic to be down here and to get some VWs back on the channel. So thank you very much. Please give the video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and we'll see you later, guys, with some air-cooled content and other cool cars. See you later, guys. Bye.